Hey, welcome to part 3 of the training. So in this part, what I'm planning on doing is adding some detail that will make it look like he's wearing some kind of a suit, right? So that would be the next step. And I do want to say that if someone wants to follow along, I did upload the file, just the tool, the ZBrush tool, to my website. So when you download the file and just say load tool, you'll be given a ZTL file, and when you import it in, you should see exactly the same thing as what I'm seeing. You should see the 3 layers with the layer of the body, which has the 4 subdivision levels. You can see that here. And it also will have all the UVs as well. So don't be afraid, just grab it from my website. It doesn't have any tricks or hidden files or anything weird. It's just, you just click on this and you download the ZTL, and I'm only doing that so we can kind of stay on the same page as far as this training goes. Alright, so the link is right here. It's just uistudios.com free -mail -base -mash. Very simple. All right, so once you grab the ZTL file, or maybe you're following along and making your own version, that's fine too. So I just want to kind of give options to everyone. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to crank this back up to level 4. And as of right now, I think I have enough topology to start adding some more detail, but I do see some artifacts that are beginning to show when the mesh becomes kind of a little bit low res. You could see that here. So let's go ahead and subdivide it again. I'm going to do Control D, and you can see that kind of those artifacts left. And now I'm at 3.2 million. So it went from 800,000 points to 3.2 million. So it kind of goes up really fast. That's why you want to be very mindful about subdividing and not, halting your computer to a stop when you're doing it. So in this case, 3.2 million is still, relatively low these days. So this should work just fine for us. All right, so the next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Damien Standard brush. And right now, let's check this out. It's the Z intensity. I'm going to turn it down maybe to like 25. And let's just see what that looks like. I'm pretty happy with this. I think I'm going to go with this. All right, so I don't really have, again, the design or a reference of what I'm trying to do. So I'm just going to see if I can make something cool, right? So for the shoes, I'm just gonna start drawing some kind of a design, and my X symmetry is on, so I do have X turned on. And another thing that is important is that I do have lazy mouse turned on as well, and my lazy mouse radius is set to 37. So that kind of allows me to drag. You can see how my mouse is sort of almost like in slow motion. And if you're not sure where lazy radius setting is, it's actually in stroke, and you can see it. I'm pressing Control to show you on the bottom here. It says stroke is where the lazy mouse setting is. So if you just go to stroke, you can find your lazy mouse tab right here, and this is the radius, right? So I just have mine dragged on my UI here. All right, so I'm just gonna keep going. I'm going to maybe do something like this, and connect this line here. So this is kind of the top of his shoe, And this is going to be like the sole of the now one trick that I did learn a while ago that I don't use all the time, but sometimes when you connect the lines you could see that there's actually these dots that kind of happen when you make a connection. They don't always happen, which is somewhat confusing to me, but sometimes it does happen, and one way you can fix that is if you store a morph target, then when you make your line, that will actually blend a little better. But in this case, that's actually a video that I have as well. You can look it up on my channel. But for this, I think it's fine. I'm just gonna use this to my advantage to just kind of create more detail. And again, this is gonna be like a tight suit, like a sci-fi suit maybe. Like think about like Black Panther or Spider-Man or something like that, right? So, and then my intention is in Substance Painter to just, you know, color these maybe with different materials, different colors, and we can see what looks good or what makes sense. And now this is a good time maybe to also give this guy sort of a theme. So I don't really have one specifically, but I was thinking maybe he can have some kind of almost like a electricity kind of thing going. I'm actually not happy with the way that is connecting there. So I think something like that looks cool. So maybe try to visualize this being like a black suit with this being like a neon green or electric blue with like a dark black. I think look really, really cool. I don't know, again, I'm just literally just having fun and brainstorming. Maybe there's something here as well. And it's fun to just experiment sometimes, not always plan things ahead, and just see what happens. Kind of push your creativity and just see what ends up happening. So I would like to add, I don't want to do too much detail maybe, you know, trying to figure out if I want to do anything on his knees. Maybe we can have something on his knees too, maybe. And I'm already starting to see that I could actually probably use more subdivision. I don't really want to go past 3 million on my computer here, but if you start seeing this kind of weird stuff, right, that just means you need to subdivide it again. And let's try it. I'm going to Control D. I'm going to go to 13 million. You can see that that kind of fixes that. But to be honest with you, I don't want to go to 13 million. That's a little too extreme for my machine. I'm just on the iMac here. And so I'm not gonna worry about that spot there. So maybe I can draw something here. Now you could click, hold down Shift and go up, and I think you can make a line. For some reason it's not working. Yeah, this is kind of what I was wanting to achieve. Something like that I think is cool. It's sort of meeting where the middle of the foot is, and is in the middle of his knee, right? So that's what I'm kind of going for. So pretty happy with this. For this area here, maybe we can make it something, some kind of a design here. Alright, another thing is we have to figure out how high this suit is gonna go, and I'm kind of liking his face, so I don't really want to cover his face with a mask or anything, but maybe it would be cool if he had something like this, where like the mask would go up to like here, maybe cover his neck. Now keep in mind, I do want to add maybe like a trench coat or a cape or something, but I also want to be able to have the character take it off, so maybe it's something that comes on and off. It's not really part of the base, like the actual foundational piece. So this is important to create detail for me personally, that looks good. All right, so again, I'm gonna try to maintain that whole kind of a electric vibe. So maybe I can do something that runs down his arm as well. Something like that. I think that looks really nice. Let's make sure that I'm gonna have a hand, obviously, so, but maybe the suit kind of comes down here. It's like a high-tech suit of some sort. So I'm just gonna cut his hand out. And again, make sure your active symmetry is on, so you're doing this on both sides. Alright, so let's see, what else can we do? Maybe it would be cool to add, let's see if we can add like a circle. Oh, if you wanted to do something obviously besides just Damien Standard, you can do a bunch of things. Let's go to alpha, and maybe let's grab a, I'm gonna grab this alpha 14, and then instead of dots, I'm gonna do a drag, and then maybe I can change the Z intensity to be something like 44, and then cool way to make indentation. If you hold on the Alt key, you can push something up, so it reverses it, right? So instead of making indentation, it will actually lift the surface, so reversing it. So that's a cool way of making adding some detail as well. And in my opinion, definitely cannot have enough little circles, because they could be like little, I don't know, little computer chips or little something, right? They just add cool little detail. Maybe we'll add one here, add one here. I kind of like that. I think that's cool. I'll add some here. All right, so let's, I'm gonna jump back into my Damien Standard, which is going to be alpha, and then I'm going to do a stroke. And let's maybe do something here. Now, I think, I'm not sure where I had that, 20 maybe? Yeah, something like that. So maybe there's a panel or something that goes from here to here. We can figure out if we want to do a line down the middle or not. Because my X symmetry is on, I can turn that off. And this is what I was telling you, you can hold down the, let me see how I did that. You click and then you hold on the shift key and then you drag this up and then you go to the point where you want to go to, and then you release the shift and that will give you a straight line. So that's a cool little trick. All right, so I'm just gonna keep working. I'm gonna press X again, and for my chest here, I kind of don't want to make it too busy, but maybe I can come up here. And maybe there's a connection here. I'm actually not liking that. So this is what I think is important, is to just play and see what feels good or what looks cool, right? I think that's a little better. Feels a little more organic. All right. Let's see. I'm kind of liking all of this. Let's do some maybe in the back. So for the back, maybe let's bring that whole electrical thing again. Maybe there's like a thing here. Looks kind of cool. Trying to figure out if I want to give them like a, not a belt, but some kind of a cut where the waist is. I think that might be kind of cool. Maybe add a little panel here. I don't want it to look round because then it won't be kind of consistent with the rest of it. All right, again, I don't want to do too much, but I think this is starting to feel interesting. Maybe we can, let's go to our standard brush and do the drag with the circle, but it's, if you don't do it on the Damien Standard, then it's not gonna mess up your alpha and the stroke here, right? So you can do it on a different brush, and this way you can jump between the two. That's another cool little trick. So maybe there's something here. Hold on the Alt key, make a hole. And then we can do an Alt and maybe raise the surface up and then lower it down. Just play around and see what makes sense. Just so there's like different things going on, right? We're using the same brush or the same alpha, but look how different the results are. I'm gonna go to my perspective view and just kind of take a look. So I'm kind of liking this. I think this is really cool. I think this will be really amazing once we paint this in Substance Painter. So do your own design, and let's go ahead and meet in the next part. For the next part, I would like to maybe give him some cool hair. So there's a couple different options I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of either giving them like a crazy mohawk, or maybe flowing kind of long, couple long strings. I don't know. Let's try and see what makes sense. But I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.